Macro practice means working within the systems, the institutions, the larger playing field of what our clients experience.
That means it's more focused on the community or organizational level. It's more focused on policy change. It's more focused on the social justice aspects, not fixing the problem at the individual level, but stopping generating the problem in the first place.
It's connections on all levels. It's the consumer, it's the organization, it's the state, it's the politicians, it's everybody.
Micropractice is what people usually think of first when they think of social work. They think of the work with individuals, helping people secure resources or with mental health or other issues that they're facing. But macro practice is the collective work that we do towards social justice.
In a game, the players are the micro people. Those are the folks that you're going to be working with, whether that's in mental health, in the school system. They're the individuals or the families that you're working with. But the game board and the rules is what I consider to be macro practice.
Macro practice is important because too often we think we can fix people instead of change the conditions that are creating problems for people.
As I've gone throughout my career, I've become more and more aware of how in order to be an effective practitioner and clinician, I have to understand macro level policies.
I think macro really enhances other aspects of social work. You're still doing everything that you learned to do in micro practice. It's just you're taking it a step further.
So I think we're still integrating macro into all of our classes, but there is then also the specificity of being able to take specific classes that really take a deeper dive.
Every student in the program will take an advanced macro practice class and learn about the way that the generalist approach is applicable not only in their individual practice with people, but in their practice inside an organization and inside society.
I'm using so much of what I learned during my macro classes because that's a lot of what I'm doing now. I'm collecting a lot of data from organizations and then I'm analyzing that, and we need that data to support our program in order to sustain our funding.
I do think politician, I think agency policy specialists, people that work at state and county governments.
Sometimes it's the administration of programs, so you're not going to be in the individual practice of talking to people, but you're supervising all the people who are. You're managing the flow of cases, you're managing your interventions and deciding how to design new programs or to fund them. That's macro practice, running an agency.
Really, I could do so many things, like I'm analyzing data, or I'm on one Department of Human Services committee, and then I'm filling in for my boss on a statewide committee. So just being able to experience those things and being able to feel like I know what I'm talking about, I could speak up and I have a voice and I know how to get my point across.
Folks might work for the state government or the federal government, and then there's people who do research and evaluation from external to those systems, but informing policy in those systems, and there are groups that do advocacy of all sorts, representing people with the disability community or representing people in recovery or bringing together voices of people seeking economic justice. All of those are forms of macro practice and real jobs.
Just be open to every single possibility and just always be learning.
If any students have desire to kind of not necessarily be the person that's getting the orders, but would like to create real change in their agency, or feels like they're the ones that want to really create policy that makes sense, they should definitely take some macro level courses.
Consider macro practice. Think about the kind of problems they are seeing in the people they're working with, and how often are those problems being generated by a set of constraints, conditions, problems that you are just facing again and again and again, and think about how maybe changing the conditions that are generating the problems could work for your clients.